What's going on, Ken folk? This your boy Blood Boxing. We back with another installment of OG Boxing Talk. We coming from out of the LDBC. Like DOC, we got the formula, my niggas. We have Fanon the Don in the building with that country boy trap house boxing who could never get a connection. We got the singing OG KQKC. We have the historian himself, Kurt Anderson, aka Kurt Sugar. We also supposed to have Mr. Boxing today too. Maybe he's not here yet, but he got the link and could be joining in the discussion a little bit later. We had another busy night in boxing, or should I say another busy day in boxing, a busy day and night. Eddie Hearn pulled a Don King and gave us an all-heavyweight card. There's some smaller guys too that filled in. They had some filler fights and things. In my opinion, the smaller guys don't deserve airtime, just like the 122-pound fight last night that was on the Charlo card. 135 and up for me. I'm speaking for Blood Boxing on this part. As far as I'm concerned, midget fighting should remain second rate until these guys become unified champions. Okay, so let's start it out, man. Let's talk to the OGs here. Let's start out with Fanon the Don. He has an announcement for you guys, and then we're going to take it to the other OGs.
All right. Hey, look, you guys should know, if we look at the super chat, we got something called channel memberships here. And there, what's going on, Christopher Hayden? And I'm sure Blood will go through the what's up to everybody in there. But just real note, so you guys know, we got channel memberships. So when you hit a super chat, it should have a button that says join. There's a specific group for OG Boxing Talk. The people that join as an OG Boxing Talk member on the channel, you guys can email me your questions and a topic for the show, and we'll make sure that we get to your topics and the specific topic that you want to cover. The panel's going to go over one topic per week. We're going to go through the topic that OG Boxing Talk members want us to go through. And you can always tell who the members are when you see, like, Expert Genius has a little green sign next to there, say what it do. You see Kenneth Johnson out there who has his green thing there, his little green, what do you call those icons next to his name. So just so you guys know, that's what that's about. Anybody you see with a green dot next to them is a member to the channel in one of the 3 tiers. If you're an OG Boxing Talk member or an LDBC community support member, we will. One of the perks is we're going to take your questions and we're going to adjust them on OG Boxing Talk and give you the big shout out. Shout out to my man Lowland Profits in that super chat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's move down the panel, man. Let's get to my brother, that country boy, because he's about to lose his signal. Trap House Boxing.
What's cracking, famo? What's good? What's good? The youngest OG on the panel. What's good?
Okay, so what's going on with you, Trap House? I know you saw them damn fights yesterday.
What you want me? How you want me to go? You want me to go for the juggler? What you want?
We gonna get into that in a minute, though, man. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to KQKC, the singing OG up in the building, man. What's up?
What it do?
KQKC, my brother.
What's going on, man? What it do, man? What it do? You know what? I'm mad this morning, man. You know why? I'm mad because I called the fight, all the fights yesterday, and they all got deleted except one. I did it by mistake. I was trying out something, and I messed up like 2,000 views, and I'm mad. I can't get it back, man. I'm mad.
You deleted it after the fact?
Yeah.
You didn't delete the views; they still there.
Oh, the views still there?
Yeah, you just don't see them on the page, man.
I don't see the video. The video's not
like
there.
This is a subject for our talk, but dog, when you go and look inside of your community settings, those views are still there. They're just not there on the top of the. They're just not in the front where everybody else can see them. Shit didn't go away.
But the video is not there.
Doesn't matter. The views didn't go away. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Today.
You'll be all right, KQKC, man. We'll get it figured out, man. Get them views back up. Whatever we have to do, man. Hey, shout out to Miss Boxing. Hey, before I get to the chat, let me talk to the historian on the panel, the man himself, the historian himself, Kurt Sugar, aka Kurt Anderson, aka Kurt Sugar. My bad. Kurt, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up, chat panel? You know, we had a very interesting day and night of boxing. One guy had a very good knockout, and one guy looked like a boiled egg with a belt around it. So it was a very interesting, day at the fights, to say the least.
Yes, sir, man. We got DJ Zion Love in that super chat, man. He says, salute, OG Kings, KQKC. I was blocked on your channel last night by someone. So KQKC, DJ Zion Love is saying that he was blocked on your channel last night, man. So maybe you might want to go look at the block list.
Okay, yeah, don't worry about it, DJ Zion Love. He's a good brother, man. So soon I get through with OG Boxing, I'll go in there and unblock you. All right.
Man, we got a lot of people up in here, man. They coming in pretty early this week. Shit, what's up to Neil McDonald, Cameron Tillis, man? You said first time to the channel, man. Hey, join the channel, man. Also, join OG Boxing Talk all together. There's a little join button down there. We got T. Scott. We got Kieran Alexis. We got Dola D up in here. Miss Rivas or Minya. I don't know if that's a Mr. or Miss, but Bert. We got Bert up in here. Show me Woolbag. Not Raja, DJ Zion Love, CVP, Trick Knowlton. What's up, bro? Woolbag. We just had the king of heavyweight boxing talk join the discussion, Mr. Boxing Today 2. What's up with you, brother?
Hey, what's going on with it, man? Happy to be on here. Finally getting on here with y'all.
Yes,
just woke
sir,
up from, watching that fight card last night, man. So I can't wait to get into it.
You talking about the one from last night or the one from yesterday? Or the one from around noon that started around noon? Or both?
Yeah, the big one that happened yesterday.
Okay. What's up to 78 Sports TV? I see you in there, old school. All right, man. You know what, though? When the people are still gathering in here, man, I want y'all to smash the motherfucking like button. I'm going to talk to the OGs real quick. While y'all gathering in, I'm going to ask them something real quick. This is my little thing here. And look, Blood ain't going to moderate every week. We're going to get Kurt Anderson in here, KQKC, and Trap House Boxing to do some moderation sometimes too, okay? We want to let y'all know that too.
And we can take your vote on who does it next week.
Yeah, we don't need to put the OGs. We don't vote between the OGs, man.
Really?
We don't need to do that.
Yeah, because you know I win. I know what that is.
Nah, you'll lose every time, bro. You'll be last. You'll be the last one. Justin Mark in the super chat. What's up? He didn't say nothing. He had no question. Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all something real quick so we can get to this discussion. But I want to ask you guys, man, a question, a throwback boxing question. I want to ask you guys on the panel. I'm gonna start with Kurt Anderson Sugar on this one, bro. Kurt, I want to know when did you first notice Roy Jones? This should be interesting, Kurt's answer, okay? And I want to know, when you saw him, did you feel that he was one of the best? Because many people said, man, this guy's the best I've ever seen, and this and that. Kurt done seen a lot of boxing. I also want to know what your favorite Roy Jones moment is, your favorite Roy Jones fight. Kurt Sugar, man.
I first saw Roy Jones as an Olympian. I heard about him. My stepfather was from Florida, where Roy was at. He knew him personally. My stepfather's name was William Gibbs, and he used to brag about him. And there was an amateur coach named Ken Adams who used to talk about the up and coming fighters: Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver. So I kind of knew these guys. Now I didn't know he was going to pan out like that, but he had super athleticism. And I started watching him early on, and I said, this guy's going to be something else. He was great. I know he didn't have fundamentals, but he got away with his athleticism, his pure athleticism. He was a freak of nature, so I knew he was headed for great things. I knew he was going to be world champion. Him and Bernard was rivals from the beginning. He beat Bernard in DC, he became champion in '93. My favorite Roy Jones fight was the Art Sawano fight, where he caught him, and when he knocked him out, he fell awkwardly, and it looked like this movie. I don't know if you guys remember this movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow, when they sprayed magic dust in your face and you was like a zombie, but you was still alive. That's how Art Sawano looked. And I was like, wow, that was an incredible knockout. And the Thomas Tate knockout when Roy was moving to his left and right, like Sugar Ray Robinson, like, and he hit him with a short hook, bang. And Thomas Tate was talking all week, and laid him out like a Persian rug. So that's my favorite Roy Jones fight. He went on to become one of the greatest fighters ever. And, me and my friends, we talked, and I said, that's one of the few guys that would have gave Sugar Ray Robinson all he can handle, him and Sugar Ray Leonard, because of the athleticism and all-around skill level. Roy, in his prime, was a sight to behold. I saw him at the Garden against a friend of mine named Brian Brannon. Brian Brannon was a 16-0 fighter. He was known as a street fighter, him and his brothers from Trenton, New Jersey. But Roy didn't care about all that. Roy hit him with one of the best combinations I ever seen. He hit him with a short left uppercut, double left hook with the same hand. Only Sugar Ray Robinson could do stuff like that. So Roy was at his best against Brandon and Murky Sosa, where it looked like he had 3 arms. He was so fast. So Roy Jones, one of the best fighters ever to lace up a pair of gloves in his prime.
Man, I agree, Kurt, man. And that Thomas Tate fight, man, that was his last fight as the IBF middleweight champion, right? The Thomas Tate fight.
I believe that's correct. Yeah. He was at his supreme best, man. Roy was just a freak of nature. It hurt me when he started getting knocked out because the weight loss hurt him because he was losing muscle mass. That was a 25-pound discrepancy between light heavyweight and heavyweight. He should have stayed at heavyweight. He moved back down, and that's where the problems happened.
I hear you, bro. Oh man, we got 78 Sports TV in the super chat, man. He says, you're dealing with an OG when they bring up the surfing and the rainbow. Yes, sir, man. Hey, okay, let's go on down to KQKC. Tell me what you remember about Roy Jones, my man.
Well, you know what? I wasn't really a Roy Jones fan, right? But when I saw him fight, really I started paying attention to him when he started moving up and being coming out of the Olympics, and pretty much how he moved. And the way he moved was kind of awkward. It's not your basic fundamental style, that they say that you have to have coming out of the amateurs. And he will hit you, and you can't time him. He will hit you at different directions. Now, my favorite part was when he fought Antonio Tarver. Now, of course, the first fight was a controversial fight. Now, I really like, when the referee said, hey, look, is there any questions? And he said, yeah, I got a question, Antonio Tarver. Hey, any excuses tonight, Roy? I like
you a Roy hater.
Huh?
So you a Roy hater.
Well,
you got a Roy hater up here.
I just didn't get into him like that, and I don't know. I'm not a hater. It just that I wasn't, too much into him like that. I was into other fighters, and but what he had, it was pretty good because from Canada, he patented his fight style after Roy Jones. He believed that Roy Jones is his hero, and he believed that Roy Jones is the best thing since sliced bread, and so I mean he got to be something special, because he hitting you at all different directions, and he do little histrionics in the ring. And next thing you know, it works. The bolo rolled up and bam, hit you with the left, so it works. So he is very athletic, and, very, very limber. So, but I will give him that.
Yes, sir, man. KQKC, you strike me as more of a Pernell Whitaker type guy, man. You just
yes, sir. I love Pernell Whitaker. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, man. Mr. Boxing Today 2. Tell me what you remember about Roy Jones, man.
Well, I'm on one accord with Kurt Sugar, man. The Art Serrano overhand right that he landed. I remember as a kid that used to be on like the plays of the week or the ABC Sports bloopers of the week. Just the knockout, just the way he went down, man. Because Roy set him up. He kind of did like a little touch jab, came over with the overhand right. that will always be planted in my mind. The way he went down, he was kind of had his mouth open with his eyes bugged up in there. It was crazy. It didn't look like he almost broke his leg when he went down as well. So that was one of the most nastiest KOs I've seen. My family's always big on the Olympics, so I do remember hearing his name in the Olympics. But I wasn't paying too much close attention to him, you know what I mean? But that Art Serrano is when it really caught my attention. And as far as his first fight, man, my favorite Roy fight, there's just too many of them, man. It's almost like 1A, 1B, 1C, you know what I mean? So if I really had to pick one, because the Hill fight, he landed the good body shot. The Griffin rematch was redemption, the epitome of redemption, you know what I mean? And then the Ruiz winning the title at heavyweight. But I'm gonna have to go with the first Tarver fight. Why? Because he dug. And that was the first time we really had to see Roy dig to get a victory. Depleted in weight, looked weak, but he still went out there and he had to dig to get that one, man. A lot of people had it a draw, you know what I mean? So it was the first time we really see him face some adversity in the ring, and he had to dig and pull it out. He made the fight with Tony look so easy. So he was coming up doing that. A lot of fans, especially my oldest uncle, shout out to my Uncle Will, he was a big Roy hater, a big one. He hated his style, you know what I mean? My uncle was a Meldrick Taylor fan, but yeah, man, I'm gonna have to say that first Tarver fight, just because he had to go to a place that he's never been, at least in the pros. I'm sure in the amateurs, in some tournament when he was a kid, he had to dig. But our first time really seeing him as a pro go through some adversity and overcome it. So I'm gonna go with that fight. But as far as his style, man, he was one of the first as a kid when I'm coming up watching him. He was the first person I seen that he didn't even really need a jab. And I know it's kind of you really don't want to say that because that's the first punch they teach you in the gym is how to use a jab. But this dude would lead with left hooks, lead with overhand rights. The dude would lead with uppercuts. What fighters you know they could be bouncing with his head down and then just lead with an uppercut? That is one of the most dangerous things you can do in a boxing ring. But Roy had natural gifts, man, that you can't work on, God-given gifts. But when I was seeing him do stuff like that, that's why when we were on here talking years ago about Floyd and his reflexes, it's like, man, did y'all see Roy in his prime? No, maybe y'all was too young, but this dude would just lead with power shots, whether he was bouncing around the ring, whether he was going left, circling right, it didn't matter. It was almost video game-ish, some of the things he used to do.
I agree, man. He got away with that shit too, and Deontay Wilder's getting away with doing a lot of things right now that we're not used to seeing. There's just some fighters out there. Manny Pacquiao's another one. They're special, man. They have unorthodox styles. They don't necessarily have to fight out of an unorthodox stance, but they have just these styles. They present an unorthodox style, and they have to rely a lot on athletic ability. Now, Trap House.
Blood.
Go ahead, Mr. Boxer.
And let me just add to that, for some of the historians, it's going to tell me, well, hey, have you seen Sugar Ray Robinson? Yes, I understand there was fighters before Roy that were doing things like that, guys that had great defenses like Charles Burley and Willie Pep, so on and so forth. But just the package of the way Roy had it, his package came more out of like a Sugar Ray Robinson type of package, the way he was doing it in the 90s. You know what I mean? So let me just add that in there as well.
Yes, sir. That is true. That is true, man. The guy, man, he was just unbelievable. That's why I wanted to talk about him and hear y'all's opinion, because I remember when I was coming up in the 90s, man, shit, we used to always discuss, is this guy one of the best to ever do it? Now, Trap House Boxing, you from the state of Florida. I tell you what, Trap, man, that's about the only time that I really was going active to fights, when Tarver and Jeff Lacey and Roy Jones and them was young. I don't know if you ever hit up any of them fights, bro. But tell me what you think. Being a Florida boy, man, I know you from out of Oklahoma too, but being a Florida boy, tell me what you think about our boy Roy Jones, man.
I think he fell off for a minute on Blood.
Who this is?
This KQ.
Oh no, I'm talking about Trap Out.
No, he
Trap Out.
I think he fell off.
Oh, he done fell off? I told you don't got no damn signal.
I'm here, man. What are you talking about? I've been waiting the whole damn time. What the hell are you talking about, man? Oh no, hell no. I heard everything you said, but no. Roy, man, you know, at that time,
I can hear you for now.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I
go
hear
ahead.
you.
Go ahead, Trap.
Yeah, around that time, man, when Roy was like in the 90s, you know, I was real busy around that time. Like, you know, I was in high school, but I was real busy in the streets too. You know, I was kind of in and out watching boxing, but, you know, I always heard a lot about Roy. Winky Wright and Lacey and all those guys. But I used to watch Roy, only doing the big fights. And Roy had them beat my man Murky Sosa, who I had the pleasure to meet at the Johnny Taco's boxing gym in Vegas. But what really made me stand out with Roy, because see, I wasn't a real big Roy fan. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of cats was. I wasn't a real big Roy fan. I was a James Toney fan. So when Roy beat James Toney, that kind of like it wowed me, man, because I didn't ever think nobody could do James Toney like that. You know what I mean? Because that James Toney is one of like my favorite fighters of all time. Period. I know y'all don't hardly hear me say that too much, but he one of my favorites of all time. And the way Roy just schooled him, man, I was just like, wow, man. And that kind of really like, made me look at Roy a little different. But Roy damn sure good fighter though, man. Exceptional talent. And the thing is, I was always familiar with his athleticism and his awkward, style. Because especially you find a lot of brothers in the South like that with that naturally, athletic talent like that. You know what I mean? And it's not surprising. But a lot of people don't know that Roy daddy used to make Roy tie his right hand up behind his back, and he used to make Roy just strictly spar for round 12, 15 rounds with just his jab hand, his left hand. So that's how Roy was able to lead with left hook, uppercuts, and shit like that, and drop his lead hand and be real effective like that, because he used to tie his hand up.
Yes, sir, man. That was country boy way of doing things. You know how we do it.
Hey, and back real quick, man. My man Kurt Sugar said "Serpent in the Rainbow." Man, I used to tell people about that all the time. A lot of people don't know nothing about that "Serpent in the Rainbow," but that was like one of the first scary movies that had me scared before Children of the Corn. It was a movie based in Haiti. That's what it was.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know you were scared, man. I mean, shit, you probably couldn't sleep at night. Had to call your mom to come sit at the end of your bed, man. Right?
Absolutely, especially when the lights go out. You know it.
Hey, man, Fernando Don, man, give us your take on Roy Jones. What you remember about Roy Jones, bro?
Man, unfortunately, dog, I remember him getting knocked out. Cause dog, I went to three Roy Jones Jr. fight, man. I went to the one where he won the heavyweight champions, the first one I went to. Then I watched the Tarver fight. Then I was in Memphis for Glenn Johnson. So unfortunately, my biggest memories is knocked out. But the first time that I thought that he was like, damn type dude was probably the James Toney fight, man. Because we were playing that video game, that Fight Night when they still put out Fight Night and all that. So we be playing Fight Night, dude, and this way my boy was big on James Toney, like Lights Out Tony, and they had Lights Out Tony being the shit on that game.
Now when they fought, Fight Night wasn't out yet. I'm gonna let you know that Fight Night was been a while since. I mean, they didn't.
Nah, dog, there was an original boxing game, dude. Look, I'm telling you what happened, dog. I was playing a video game. James Toney was the shit on that fucking video game.
Knockout Kings. You was playing Knockout Kings.
Okay, cool. That video game, James Toney was the shit. And then as soon as Roy Jones knocked his ass off, they dropped that motherfucker stats on the next one to the ground. So that's the first time. And I had a lot of my boy, I had a good friend, Johnny, who was big into Roy Jones. I started really appreciating Roy Jones. But as soon as Roy Jones got knocked out, he turned into a fair weather fan. But look, let me address one thing real quick because I got fun on Twitter. Jonas, you a hoe. All you Charlie Z ass, bitch ass dudes over there on fucking Twitter, y'all took a big fucking L. I let you trolls fucking talk to me. You take L after L. You sending fucking pictures of gay ass men winking at me. You took a fucking L, dog. Don't be coming up in the chat after you got your ass whooped. Guy won, you Charlie Z ass fuck boy. Look, man, Charlie Z ain't never won no fucking fight. You motherfuckers out there in a free fucking Twitter zone getting y'all asses ate up with you lying asses trying to pay Captain Cockblocker for fucking Steve Kim. Fuck you. Fuck Steve Kim. You motherfuckers is jokes, man. Anyway, now throw his ass out.
He got that any crackhead Charlie Z trying to protect him?
Man, hell, dude, Steve Kim put this shit out. Oh, I love it when guys break down certain agendas And they put a video of mine up when I said, you bitch motherfucker, that Deontay Wilder did 300,000 pay-per-views. You stupid motherfuckers. Oh, Fanon is lying. You got your weak-ass limp wrists fucking swinging. Fanon is lying. Show me the proof. Then I went right to the fucking article that said just shy of 300,000 and comparable to Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter, you fucking moron. And you guys didn't even read the fucking article. That's why I'm saying you guys are fucking Charlie Z of fucking debate. I don't say no shit that I don't know the fucking answer to already. Shy of means just shy of. Comparable means equal to or compared, where you can compare the two. Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter, and we get back on the regular conversation, did over 300,000. Just shy of means a little bit less than 100,000. If you look at the two of those estimates, to say estimated at 300 is reasonable. But you bitches acted like I just pulled 300,000 out of my ass, unlike you pulling your fucking tongue out of Steve Kim's ass. Now, get the fuck off of OG Boxing Talk. Admit your L, you fucking Charlie Z ass debating bums. Fuck out of here, man. You took an L. Don't be coming over here talking to me. I don't take L's. I give them, bitches. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Hold on. Let me tell y'all my take on Roy Jones, and we might talk about that again for now because I think I know what you're talking about. Them numbers, man. We'll get back into that. My friend,
ignore it. I was just waiting because I know these hoes was gonna come to me. I know these hoe ass dudes were gonna come to me. Because you gotta come to me. You gotta go to my Twitter. You gotta come to OG Boxing Talk. You gotta come to the LDBC. You got new media sticking you between dudes who are their superiors. Okay? Steve Kim stuck your ass out in the middle of a fucking street and left away and ran while you got fucking hit by a car. Stupid. Stay the fuck away from me, man. Go ahead.
Right, y'all heard it from Fanon the Don, man. Okay.
Wow, Fanon. Whoa.
Hey, Blood.
Hey, dog, I don't look. You know the saying. You know the saying. I don't debate. I only debate my equals. Everyone else I teach.
Right.
You got taught.
See.
These are the dudes that I debate with, not y'all bums.
See, I keep
you know, Blood bodied one of your other little boys.
See, I try to tell y'all, look, y'all think Fanon is soft, but he ain't soft. He from Chicago. Ain't nothing soft about Chicago. Trust me. If you can survive in Chicago, you can survive anywhere. And don't let that bald head fool you. All right? Because he will whoop some ass. All right? So I'm just letting you know. Don't let looks fool you. Because shit, you might get something you might not want. Oh,
yeah, with a check hook. He look like one of them little sneaky motherfuckers who you won't think know how to fight and he get you with something. You know what I'm saying? Because Fanon, I would have definitely tried him back in my heyday. And he might have whooped my ass. I don't know. But
anyway, if you would have tried me, Blood. I'll tell you what I do to you, Blood. You try me. I would sit there listening to you talk, and I'd be like, okay, yeah. And as soon as you moved your hand, I will pull a wrench out of my fucking pocket and knock all your teeth out.
Knock all my teeth out.
I ain't gonna start no shit with your big ass.
Hey, look. Hey, Blood.
There wasn't no talking. I'm from Florida, man.
Hey, Blood. I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Them Chicago niggas wild, bro. I'm telling you, this some of the wildest niggas I done met on this planet Earth. Every nigga from Chicago that come around, boy, they be on one, boy. They have different type of temperament. I'm telling you.
I do believe they wild, but shit, I'm undefeated against
wild, I'm telling you. Chicago wild, bro. I'm telling you.
Before we get back on subject, though. Look, man, I want to clarify something. Let me clarify something before we get back on this talk. We ain't talking about physically fighting, dog. We talking about this. I do my research before I talk. Like Don King say, he washes his hands before he touches his dick. I read my shit before I speak. You motherfuckers have lost before I say any fucking thing. I've already done this shit. I've already pulled my note back out. I've already done my research. I'm not walking out there with you bums willy-nilly. You motherfuckers think a little joke gonna get you out of it. Jake Donovan had that shit in his article. Y'all just didn't read. Reading is fundamental, stupid. It's a fuck. They count on you reading just the title. You read just the title and think you know some shit in a 500 word article. There's 500 words in that motherfucker. You left out. You didn't read 475 of them, and then your dumb ass want to jump up there talking to somebody. Do your fucking read, man. That's why you got D's in high school. Somebody should have fucking told you. You read the whole fucking thing. Jake Donovan is not going to say some shit where he doesn't have any wiggle room. So what he did is he put 75K north of 75K in the title, dummy. Guess what numbers are north of 175, you morons? 7 billion is north of 275, dumbass. Go ahead.
Okay, man. Okay, for now. Let me give me my Roy Jones point and we're gonna get to this talk him. All right.
I'm sorry.
My favorite Roy Jones fight for me, okay, was Roy's 1994 fight against James Toney, who at the time was undefeated. Okay. We had Toney, he was coming off of an impressive victory. He fought what's that boy name who moved? Prince Charles Williams. Okay. Toney had a successful middleweight run starting with Michael Nunn. Okay. It ended with Mike McCallum. So James Toney, like KQKC said, that was the motherfucking man. James Lights Out Toney had a bad attitude, nasty. He came to the table talking a lot of trash to Roy Jones. All right. He was 13 fights deep as a super middleweight. Roy Jones moved into the super middleweight division after blowing out Thomas Tate. He did his thing against James Toney. Now we're gonna move on. Okay. We're gonna
Blood.
What's up?
Hey, let me just add this, man, because this cannot be overlooked. And I think the youngsters need to know this. When you talk about fighters that had cold mouthpieces, I'm talking about after they fight talking shit, we can't overlook Roy. He had one of the coldest post-fight interviews after the Griffin fight, when he was saying, I didn't want to bring out the RJ. I didn't want to go to the old Roy. I didn't want to hurt this boy. When he was saying, it's Pensacola turn to talk tonight. It's the champ turn to talk tonight. He went off, man. Like, that was a resemblance of like the way Ali used to talk shit. But he has some of the coldest post-fight interviews, man. Even the one where he was getting ready to go into the ring and him and B-Hop was going at it. They had like a split screen. I think they both fought that night. It was like a split screen. And Roy was telling him 60-40 and I kick your ass. 60-40 and I whoop that, man. Roy had one of the coldest mouthpieces. Man. I wanted to just put that in there, man. One of the best trash talkers that I've seen coming up.
Yes, he did. He would have been huge if he had the social media tool,
exactly.
Man. He did. He had one of the coldest mouthpieces. He backed it up and all that shit. And you notice when him and Bernard Hopkins was talking shit on that split screen, the fans did not discuss A side, B side politics. Okay, we let them handle that. Then nobody go on for days and days about who A side and B side. Now, before we get into this heavyweight card, we're gonna save that for last. I want to know everybody's opinion on the Showtime card last night. You had Jamal Charlo. He did his thing against Hogan. You had Chris Eubank. I think it might have been his first fight over here. Let's start with KQKC. You talked about it several last night, so you must have a lot on your mind to cook with, bro.
What's going on? Yes, sir. Okay, well, Charlo came out there, and I don't have no doubt in my mind that he was looking for a knockout. And Hogan did what he could do. He was throwing, ducking, and throwing. He wasn't even looking to see where he was throwing at. And he was pretty much fighting. I hate to say this, but he was fighting scared. He knows that Charlo is a big guy, a big puncher, and he's fundamentally sound. And he was trying to do a lot of lateral movement to stay away from that right hand. So he would tie him up. Now, if you don't tie him up, he'll duck, he'll run, and try to get in and try to get out, but he always get caught going out. And that's what happened with the first knockdown. Then the second knockdown, he got caught again. Now, Deontay Wilder had this bad habit when he fought Severn. You never go straight back in a line. You always have to move side to side. That's just basic, because you're gonna get counted straight in the head. So then Hogan got caught again. He got caught again. That hell, he did a flip. He got up and kicked his leg. I don't know, was he surprised or flash knockdown? I don't know, but I knew that Charlo was going to get him out of there before the 7th round. But I think he got him out of there in the 7th. But it was pretty much, I can't fight nobody, so whoever they throw in front of me, I gotta fight him. That's just how it is, because Canelo, he's running up and down weight classes like a track star, so it's hard to get somebody that's gonna fight him. Now, they did come out and say that for Canelo to be a formidable opponent, to be a star, to pretty much go in the record books, he gonna have to fight Charlo or Demetrius Andre. That's just facts. You shouldn't have to be a mandatory since 2017. And of course, he got that get out of jail card free. And that's that franchise bill. But like I said last night, Charlo needs to follow that little red motherfucker around and tell him that, hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, let's fight. Now, you don't have to go in the ring, because I know you got to be invited to come in there. Stand on your damn chair with a bullhorn. Look, let's get it on. Let's see who's the real champion. Sometimes you got to force yourself. You got to force the fight. The promoters can't do it all. Matter of fact, half of them ain't doing shit anyway. But so sometimes you got to take your own destiny in your own hands. So that's all I got with that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Hogan, he's like an little Irish guy. He was looking kind of like Canelo when he was falling to the canvas, looking like he wanted Canelo kinfolk or something, man. Got somebody to fill out of here. Let's go to Mr. Boxing Today 2, man. Tell me what you thought. Did you get a chance to see the Showtime card last night?
No, I didn't get a chance to see Charlo versus what he fought Hulk Hogan or something like that. He fought the Hulkster. I ain't get a chance to watch that fight. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So you go ahead and pass the mic. Okay. But as far as him, though, I just want to see all these dudes fight the top guys in their division, other title holders, man. So I'm pretty much universal in every weight class when it comes to who I want to see guys fight next. But I didn't get a chance to watch that card though.
Okay, let's go with my brother over there, Trap House Boxing, man.
Yeah, well, I fell asleep last night, but I woke up and caught the 4th round of the Charlo fight on Showtime. And when as soon as I cut it on, he caught Hogan with the left like little short shovel hook and dropped him. I was like, God damn. But it only lasts like maybe 3-4 rounds after that. And from what I seen, man, Charlo looked better in this fight because KQKC said that Hogan was in survival mode. That's kind of like how he fight. He fight like that. He run around and do all that awkward shit, hold, and that's how he fight. Because he even fought McGill like that. He had better success. But Charlo looked real good. He didn't seem like he was wasting too many punches from what I seen. He was cutting the ring off a little better, and he didn't look so basic either. I like this timing, and it's like as soon as Hogan would throw shots, Charlo was slipping, just catch him to a hook to the body or wherever he'd slip and throw, he'd catch him. But the main thing that I noticed about Charlo, he stayed fundamentally sound through the whole fight. He didn't drop his hands when he was throwing hooks and when he was slipping. Every time he threw a punch, he always kept the phone to his chin and vice versa. He always stayed home. He stayed fundamentally sound. So that was a good thing, man. And I just want to see, somebody fight Charlo.
Yeah, man, the competition level needs to raise between these middleweights, man. Yeah. That's why people ain't watching these fights. The only reason I even watched the Charlo fight, because I already knew Charlo was going to win, is to talk to you guys on OG Boxing Talk. But to be honest with you, I didn't feel up to that Charlo fight either, man. Fernando Don, tell us about what you thought about Charlo.
Go ahead, Trap was finishing.
Oh, go ahead, Trap. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that just when I seen last night out of Charlo, it seemed like a very, very talented fighter. Because to me, he better than Jamel. What I seen, because Jamel don't cut the ring off better than Jamal from what I seen last night. you know, and I did see some improvement because I've been kind of critical on the Charlos, for real. But I just seen last night. I seen some talent that's just trying to just break out the cage, but you know, nobody won't give him the opportunity to break it out. You know, this guy definitely got to let that talent out the cage, man. We can't see that go closed, you know, too much more longer. But go ahead. That's pretty much all I got. I didn't see the core build. I seen that on the highlights or whatever. They showed his arm got out of socket or whatever, and I guess he couldn't continue. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, man. Fanon, tell me what you thought, bro, about Charlo.
Man, I enjoyed it, man. I watched. That was the card I was really. That was actually the card I was looking forward to the most, man, because I was just hoping that Jermall Charlo would get the knockout. I was at his last fight with Brandon Adams. I was at that fight in Houston. Met a lot of brothers in the LDBC out of there. It was a really, really good evening. And to me, you know, looking at it a real close up, I thought he beat Brandon Adams, you know, pretty easy. And he had Brandon Adams hurt. Had Brandon Adams hurt several times. I think we lost Mr. Boxing today too. He'll probably jump back on. But you know, he didn't get the knockout because it looked like, you know, every time it came close, Brandon Adams was able to survive. And I figured he would knock out Dennis Hogan. Because you know Dennis Hogan, man, he's susceptible to the jab. He's susceptible to the left hooks because he fights with his chin up, and he's pretty much, you know, pretty athletic fighter. But I was just happy to see that he got that knockout, and he pretty much just was the more athletic stalker. And he went in there. He was more aggressive. He let his hands go more than I've seen him over the last several fights, and it was cool, man. He got the highlight reel. I was really hoping that he would get a highlight reel, something that you could, like, you know how we have right now. What's going on, Laws, to punch out? Much love in that super chat. He said, Fanon, hey, what's good, Fanon and the OGs? What's good with you, my man? What's going on out there in the UK? So, I mean, I was just excited about it, man. I thought it was a really good fight, man. Look, we got 521 people in the building. Let's get the likes up. We only got 225 likes. Let's get the likes up, man. But he looked great. Now, the fight that before that, I thought that Chris Eubank was going to be even though it was a short fight, I thought Chris Eubank was on his way to losing that fight. Maybe he could have changed or adjusted, but man, dude was just straight up eating. Dude was just straight up eating straight left hands, similar to the way that Korobov was doing Charlo in the beginning of his Charlo's fight with Korobov. So what I see happening moving forward is I see clearly that Chris Eubank is going to get a shot at Jermall Charlo, and because that's how they just fought a common opponent. Right, he moved down to 160. He's fighting on PBC cards. The only guy that has a belt at 160 is Jermall Charlo. I can see Jermall Charlo going to fight Chris Eubank over there in the UK for Jermall Charlo's belt. That's what it seems like it's going towards to me. And Jermall Charlo is going to murder Chris Eubank. So, man, I think it's just a real good look for him. As far as I saw the little Japanese Filipino card. They had a little prodigy got knocked out. Manny Pacquiao's prodigy got knocked out. There was also a good fight between two atom weights females. One from Australia, and I think one was a Mexican. I don't know if she was Mexico from America. But that was a good fight, man. That's the first time in a long time I saw a woman that long get decked and laid out. She wound up getting up and winning the fight, but I was like, damn, I didn't expect to see somebody get stiffed like that. But I think that might have been on the YouTube version of the card. But the Showtime card was good, man. It was real good. That's my take on it.
Okay, Kurt, I know you dropped off, man. Did you get a chance to tell us about Charlo? Okay, Kurt dropped off again, or is he here?
Nah, he dropped off again.
Okay, we're going to get into this heavyweight talk, man. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about each fight separately, and then at the end, we're going to sum it up with our overall reaction and response to what we think about the heavyweight division now, okay? Let's start with this guy, Hrgović. I think I said his name right. Hrgović versus Eric Molina, man. Good Good fight for Hrgovic. What you think about this, Mr. Boxing Today 2, man? Tell us about this fight.
I thought it'd be a runaway fight for Hrgovic. I expect him to do exactly what he did. Molina is long in the tooth. Molina right now, man, is just one of those guys you just throw your up-and-coming guy up in there against because Molina has had fights. He's been in world title fights, so you just want to gauge where your prospect is, in comparison to Molina has fought. Okay, it's a remedy. They've been using it forever, all right? But Hrgovic did what he has to do. Hrgovic is a guy, man, and I know we in this UK versus USA thing, so a lot of the UK fans are just picking Hrgovic to beat Wilder and other guys because he's with Eddie Hearn, all right? And I think that's corny. Now, a person like me, I've been following Hrgovic since 2014 when he was an amateur, and I came out with a video in 2015 predicting that he would be a world title holder one day when he was still an amateur, all right? So I've been following him for a while, did what he had to do, doesn't have the perfect style, but he fights out of a Vitaly Klitschko-esque type style with his hands down, likes to come in with, lead uppercuts and lead right hands and lead hooks, kind of upright, bounces in and out. But he did what he had to do against Molina. It was an easy fight, man.
You know what, though, Mr. Boxing? This guy does he fight like this all the time? He does not use a jab. We looked at him. Go back and look again. He don't throw no jabs whatsoever.
No.
Yep, that's what I said. He likes to lead with hooks and right hands. We spoke about Roy earlier. He kind of tries to fight like that, but kind of the way Vitaly used to do. Vitaly would kind of have it with his upper body, kind of touch you with that weird ass uppercut from that weird angle. Then using it as like a rangefinder. That's what Hrgovic likes to do. He fought like that throughout the whole amateurs, and that's what caught my attention when I watched him versus guys like Joe Joyce and Tony Yoka, those guys in the amateurs. His style caught my attention, and he was effective by winning international amateur tournaments doing it. And then as a pro, he has walked through guys like Molina and Mansour, those type of level guys, man. But yeah, he's not your traditional big guy that wants to use the jab. I think he needs to implement a jab because the jab can take you around the world. You know what I mean? So I think he needs to use a jab more. But that's the style.
He took a lot of right hands from Molina coming in there with no jab, man. I mean, he has good in and out lateral movement and stuff, but he's not fast enough. When he goes in there against bigger guys who are more athletic, even an Anthony Joshua, somebody like that, he's going to have some kind of a jab, man. He can't come in there as slow as he is with no jab. Let's go to, let's see, KQKC. What you thought about Hrgovic?
Yeah, I think the same thing Mr. Boxer, Mr. Boxer 2 was thinking, and what's that trap house? But anyway, what I thought was he had a good background. Molina did. He had been in there with nothing but champions. He had fought nothing but Deontay Wilder. He been in there with the best of the best. And Molina is like a gatekeeper. When you have to fight him, we're going to put him in there with somebody that's a prospect or a contender. And let's see how he does against Molina. Because Molina can hit. Now, I see him hit Wilder with a nice shot. It rocked Wilder for a minute. And when I say a minute, but he's a good fighter. And Bavlovich, he don't throw a jab. He comes straight in like that, and that's what he needs to do. Establish that jab, and I think he'd be a better fighter because we all know boxing 101, after your jab, you follow with your right, you could throw a double jab. Far with your right, or you could throw a triple jab. You can blind them. You could use it as a rangefinder. So therefore, hey, I think he's gonna be a good fighter. He needs some more fights on this belt. He believes he's gonna be a champion. He said in 2, maybe couple years, and a few more fights on this belt, he'll be a champion, and maybe he will be if he can get somebody to fight him. That's the problem. That's the problem we have in boxing now. All these champions won't step up to the plate except Wilder. Except Crawford wants to step up, but you know how that go. They got him with a chain on his feet, and got him locked up in the basement. They won't let him go. He fighting next Saturday. I ain't seen no promo. But let's get back at the message at hand. This is what I'm trying to say, is this guy could be a great fighter. He did a good job with Molina. He's a big, heavy weight Mexican. And he did a good job with him. He finished him off. And that's what you need to do. So once he established that jab. So that's what I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough, man.
Mm-hmm.
Trap House Boxing.
Yo. I seen a little bit of the Hagovich fight. I was really just listening to it because I was driving, but from what I seen and what I know, because I follow Hergovich. I've been fucking with him for a little bit. So not as long as Mr. Boxing today too, but for about 2-3 years now. And from what I seen, I agree with most of everything y'all said. And the thing about Hagovich is that what bothers me about him is he backs up in a straight line, man. That's one of his basic flaws to me that he always does when he's getting attacked. He's real good at moving in and out, but he always takes straight steps back, and get caught sometimes. And he real vulnerable against the ropes as well. But they moving them up how they supposed to. They moving them up kind of slow, but kind of like over the hill type fights and all that. They groom them up the way they want to. But in the next 2 or 3 fights, I want to see. I'm thinking that we're gonna see him in there with like a Chisora or maybe a Dillian White.
He called those guys out. He called them out. He called about Chisora and Dillian White.
Yeah. So that way we can really get a good gauge of. But he got dog in him. Definitely need to use that jab. And he's a good fighter. Definitely a good fighter, man. But I want to see him not fight no more of these over the hill type guys like Mansour Molinas and all that no more. I don't want to see him fight like no Robert Helenius's and no more shit like that. It's a little bit. It's time to step it up a little bit more. See him battle test a little bit more, and because he's been blowing these guys out. To be honest with you, he's been blowing them out. I don't know how true it is that these guys really want to fight him or not, but we definitely need to see a step up.
He just needs to establish.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Look, there's a guy in here, Brandon Marson said LDBC, Lions Den Basketball Community. His name doesn't look familiar, but the Lions Den Basketball Community is something that is official. That's Ticket TV, and so I know that Ticket TV says Lions Den Basketball Community. I don't think you should time him out for that. Go ahead. Just if they say that, I've heard that before. I think that's legit.
That is legit. That's Ticket TV. Lions Den Basketball Community does exist. 78 even signed off on that. Okay, Kurt Anderson, man, you back, bro? Tell us what you think about Hergovich, man.
Yeah, I'm having internet connection problem. My cycle usually start the 9th of every month, and right before my cycle start, I usually have connection problems for some reason. But getting back to Hergovich, he's a typical European heavyweight to me. Molina buzzed him with that overhand right. The first solid one he landed, he took a half step back and had to gather himself. But Molina was throwing arm punches after that. They look good, but his weight wasn't behind him. People giving him accolades, Hergovich saying he's going to be this and that. But I have to see more from Hergovich. I'm not really, impressed right now. He has to step it up in competition so I can make a better assessment of how he's going to do in be it a future heavyweight champion or a contender. So I have to see more from Hergovich. I know they're going to build him up, but I'm not convinced. Not yet.
Yeah, me either, Kurt. I don't see how a big guy like that could go in there without a jab, man. I just don't really, because he takes a lot of right hands. I mean, you could try to compare him to Vitaly Klitschko, but Vitaly didn't eat all those kind of right hands like this guy was eating against a 38-year-old Molina. I mean, he wasn't even when he was going off his back foot, he didn't even. Some fighters come out off their back foot popping a jab, especially big guys like him with a long reach. Kurt, don't you think that's a little bit strange? This guy he didn't throw no jabs hardly, bro.
Yeah, that's fundamental right there. It will help him tremendously. That's why when you get guys like that, they're better off with American trainers. You know, so he's getting away with it now because he's fighting lower tier competition. But let's see what happens when he's starting to fight. When he start to fight better competition, because he's gonna get exposed, man. He needs a jab. That's boxing 101 right there. And with his height and length, it would help him tremendously. So, I'm not crazy about Herkovic. He's big and he seems to have power, man. But he can get outboxed.
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Let me ask something real quick, Blood. And the thing is that a guy like, I don't really remember Herkovic seeing him fight off the back foot like that. He definitely gonna have to establish that, get a good jab and be able to fight off the back foot, because somebody gonna make him fight off that back foot one day. And I don't know how good he is fighting off the back foot. You know what I mean?
Well, what he tries to, like you said, Trap, he tries to move in and out, and he don't establish and he will eventually, if he's fighting someone like Chisora, he might need to develop when he's moving out, he might need to develop a jab off the back foot, because he takes too many right hands, and there's people out there who punch harder than Molina. Fernando Don, you ain't speak on this yet, man. What you think about Herkovic?
And not much, man. I put him up there with Ife Agagbe, just waiting to see what happens more with him. I mean, I watched him. Like Mr. Boxing Today 2 said, it was just he was in there just to get tested on the lower part of the card, and we'll see. I mean, I think he's a little bit behind. I think he'll come up with those guys like Danny Dubois, Tony Yoka, Ife Agagbe, guys like that. I don't see any I didn't see anything that would set him above Danny Dubois or set him above. I haven't seen Tony Yoka that much. Mr. Boxing Today could probably answer. Give a better answer to that than I can. But Ife Agagbe, I mean, he seems. I mean, he's like a big, strong guy that has fundamentally sound. That's about it.
Okay, man. Michael Hunter, man. Let's talk. Michael Hunter and Alexander Povetkin. Both fighters had their moments in this fight. Hunter looked heavy to me, man. This is his 7th fight as a heavyweight. At 226, Michael Hunter was at the heaviest of his career. Now, the latest installment of the Ring magazine, I went out and bought it. The first Ring magazine I done bought in over 10 years, because the chief editor was Larry Holmes. That's right. They decided to bring Larry Holmes in on the team. So anybody who's interested in the Ring magazine and want to see like a throwback edition, Larry Holmes had a lot to do with this last Ring magazine. And in that magazine, he spoke about the heavyweights. He said that these heavyweights now come in with too much weight. Okay, Michael Hunter, he's a small fighter. He's coming in at 226. In the 1970s, 226 was Big George Foreman. Okay, this might be a little bit too heavy. According to Larry Holmes, these heavyweights need to come in from 210 to 225. Okay, that's what he said in the latest Ring magazine, and I agree with the old school Larry Holmes. And I'll talk about this more on my channel, but let's talk about Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin, the old school warrior. Povetkin, he's still around 40 years old. KQKC, give me your take on this.
Well, see, Michael Hunter, excuse me, he's young, and Povetkin, he's ex-drug user, and Michael Hunter was getting the best of him. It was a good fight, but I think Michael Hunter, deserved to win because he was doing everything right. He was working his jab. He was getting inside. Matter of fact, he was frustrating Povetkin. And remember now, this is the same guy that Deontay Wilder was supposed to have been fighting. This is the same guy that supposed to have been losing his belt in 2 days, according to Eddie Hearn, but he didn't lose it. Not that time. But I think that was a pretty good fight, and it turned out like I thought it would. Now, one thing about Michael Hunter he had to learn how to do is use his angles. It was clearly there, right there. All he had to do was just step around. Then he would be able to hit Povetkin real clear with a nice right hand. But see, with heavyweights, they don't move like that, And yes, if you're a heavyweight, yes, weight don't make a difference. It's not you have to come in at 147 or 154. You come in how you feel. And I think for a fact that they came in too heavy, but it was a good fight, and I think Michael Hunter deserved to win. So
Yes, sir.
that's I only caught the tail end of it, so I can't really elaborate on it. I just want to be honest with it. Yeah. So
and shout out to D Style and for joining. I guess when you join, it shows up in the top chat. Okay, so shout out to D Style for joining the OG Boxing Talk as a member, man. We appreciate that, bro. D Style, y'all subscribe to him. He's an old school throwback YouTube boxing channel. Okay, let's get back into this talk here, man. Mr. Boxing Today 2. Michael Hunter, man. Alexander Povetkin. What do you think about the fight?
I thought it was a good fight. I predicted Hunter to win the fight. I also predicted this fight to steal the show on the card. So I was right about that. He came out and tried to blitz Povetkin. I did not expect that right there, but it let me know that he was trying to push the pace on an older fighter with older legs. You know what I mean? One thing about Povetkin, no matter what you think about him, man, when you're in there with him, you're going to have to respect that left hook and that overhand right. That chopping left hook and chopping overhand right, you have to respect it, especially from close quarters. I thought going into this fight that Michael Hunter would fight Povetkin the same way Marco Huck did. And that was just throw punches, don't let Povetkin rest. Povetkin has this tendency where he likes to hop in, hop out. Hop in, get his work off, hop out, rest. Hop in, get his workout. When he hops out, keep letting punches go. And I think that was kind of disrupting Povetkin because he wants to rest. You know what I mean? He isn't, even though he's a come forward smaller guy, he likes to throw 2s and 3s and then get out the way. He isn't a 4, 5, 6, 7 guy unless he hurts you. All right. But he started to slow Hunter down with body shots and those hooks. I think one of those shots could have been a knock. I think it was the second round. It could have been a knockdown, but the rope saved Hunter. But then there was a few times in the fight where Hunter buzzed Povetkin, and Povetkin had to hold on to him as well. But to me, I thought the draw was fair. As the cards were being announced, I was sitting there thinking it was going to be a draw, and it was the exact same card I was thinking in my head, 115, 113 to both fighters, and then a 114 split. I think that's good because if Povetkin's going to go out, if it's going to be his last hurrah, I've said this years ago, making videos on YouTube. I like to see guys, when they pass the torch and end it, I know it sounds kind of fucked up, but I like to see guys get knocked out because that way the fighter has no doubt that his career is done. Not this type of shit where it's some close decision and then Povetkin's in the back of the line. Nah, if he lose, I want it to be a fight where it's like, all right, Povetkin's done. It's a totally new era. He got obliterated. So both guys can walk away from this and still get fights. No, it's not a loss on their record. People still, I'm sure a lot more fans want to see Hunter now fight some other guys, and Povetkin's still hanging in there. He's still a name. He's still somebody that can, if you beat him, you can still put him on your resume. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It was a good fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, shout out to everybody in there, man. Shout out to D-Style in the super chat, too. Remember, man, y'all could join the OG Boxing Talk as a member. I don't really know for sure how that works yet, but you could join. Try to do that if you can. Please smash the like button. You guys keep shorting us on them likes, man. I see you. Thanks a lot for that, D-Block Express. We got Bird up in Jay Cooley. We see all y'all up in here. The expert genius, man. Y'all know, man. Ortiz, they don't want to give Ortiz no credit because he's Deontay Wilder's opponent. He's an older fighter, too. But there's no doubt about it. In my opinion, Ortiz is the second or third best heavyweight in the world. We'll get into that. And we're going to get in on some of this other shit, too. We'll get to Dillian White. Let's go with Phenomenal Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin.
Oh, I thought it was a good fight. I thought that I didn't really know what was going to happen because I hadn't watched a lot of Michael Hunter. Alexander Povetkin, I was very familiar with. I thought Michael Hunter showed that he's definitely a talent, man. He moved up well from cruiserweight to heavyweight. I would have scored the fight. I'm okay with the draw. I would have scored. Maybe could have gave it to went maybe a round or two in favor of Michael Hunter. But it was a good fight. Povetkin towards the end of the fight was pretty much resorted to trying to survive. Used a lot of very old veteran tactics to clinch and slow the fight down so he could survive. I think if Michael Hunter would have straightened up that right hand a little bit when he was going at during the times that he had Povetkin hurt, that maybe he could have got out of there, but maybe not. Povetkin seems like he got a really solid chin. So, it was a good fight for Michael Hunter. I look forward to seeing more of Michael Hunter. And I think that Alexander Povetkin is, still in line to get his head spun by Deontay Wilder.
Exactly,
Hey, fellas.
man.
Hey, fellas. And then as far as his weight, let me just add, I do think it was a little bit heavy. I know when he fought one of the tough journeymen I always bring up in heavyweights, he fought Jamal Woods at 227. I'd like to see him at like 215, 212. And people forget that Hunter actually turned pro at heavyweight. People just think he's like this cruiserweight that moved up. Yes, he did move up from cruiserweight, but he started at heavyweight. And in 2008, he represented the USA at super heavyweight in the Olympics. Ironic, because that same year, Wilder won a bronze at heavyweight, which is essentially cruiserweight in the amateurs. So this guy, he's not. Yes, he is shorter and things like that, but this dude's really a heavyweight. He's just a smaller heavyweight. The dude been in like 7, 8 Klitschko camps back in like 2011, 2010. Sparred Deontay Wilder plenty around. So he's just a shorter heavyweight, man. He's not. People still look at him like a cruiser. He's not really a cruiser. You know what I mean? He is a heavyweight.
You know what, Mr. Boxing Today 2, man. I don't know if you got a chance to check out the Ring Magazine with Larry Holmes as the editor-in-chief, man. But he said something. He said that these heavyweights are too heavy now. He was specifically speaking about Joshua, but he said that the best heavyweights in the world are from 215 to 225. Do you think that Michael Hunter should take some old Larry's advice? I'm not sure why Larry's not a big voice in boxing. I've been trying to talk to him for years, but you think you should take old Larry Holmes' advice? So what do you think about that from the 215 to 225 of Larry Holmes thing?
I've always been a big fan of the sleek heavyweights, man, like the big bulky stuff. I know it looks great. I know people think it gives you the visual of what a heavyweight champion should look like. But to me, man, I've never been a fan of lifting a whole bunch of weights and bulking up to 250. Right. Yes, there's some fighters that can do it. Lennox, the Klitschko brothers, doesn't mean it's made for everybody. Look what Joshua did. Even he's taking the advice now, like, dude, you don't need to look like a WWE superstar. You know what I mean? Be more fluid. That's why guys like Michael Dokes, guys from the 80s, Greg Page, you may not think nothing of them much, but go look at the way they moved around the ring. Look at their hand speed. Look at the combinations they threw. Look at the punches and bunches. Look at a guy like Ruiz. Even though he got beat yesterday, when he's rolling, his hands go. Has nothing to do with his physique. He is heavy as hell. But I'm just saying, the lighter you are, the more fluid you are. Your muscles are more relaxed. You know what I mean? So I think guys should come in at that 225 because that's how Dokes and Page and all those guys were around that weight back in the 80s. I know they say guys are bigger, faster, and stronger. That's bullshit, man. Look at Deontay Wilder for a prime example. He's taller. His weight is what, 219? Deontay's in the 2 teens a lot of his fights. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely taking Larry Holmes' advice, man. I think it's good advice for these young fighters.
Yes, sir, man. We would like to welcome iRock, man, to the OG Boxing Talk community. And like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how this works. Let
me tell you real quick, Blood, so we can get it. Basically, the channel membership means you are a member to the channel. You get an icon. There's their perks. You get a little green dot next to your name. So anytime anybody sees your name, if you're not already a moderator, your name then shows up in green. Anytime you leave a comment, and there's different perks with it you can go check out and look for. You join it by either going to the community page and hitting join next to the subscribe button, or when you leave a super chat, then you can look down and there's going to be an option to sign up for that as well. The OG Boxing members, the people that sign up is either the LDBC supporter or the OG Boxing Talk. You guys get to send me questions or send me topics, and we're going to actually discuss them on OG Boxing Talk and give you a big shout out, for doing that. Basically, you guys are supporting me. We're a member. The LDBC is a community, and we take the money that we get through super chats and we spread them out to other content providers who don't necessarily have as big an audience. We also have Marlon So Icy Sims. If you're in the comment section, Marlon So Icy Sims is going to be the first boxer that this channel sponsors. So we're going to cut him. I'm going to be cutting him a check or a PayPal for his next preparation for his fight for either gym time, equipment, something like that. So that's what we use. The proceeds for, and that's how you guys can contribute along with the super chats. That you give. I also want to say, man, the Blood said that Larry Holmes just recently wrote an article for Ring Magazine or edited for Ring Magazine. Is that true?
He's got more than one in there, bro. I got it right in front of me right now.
Ring Magazine, To Dougie Fisher or anybody that's listening to this magazine, hey man, salute to Ring Magazine. I'm one of the biggest critics of Ring Magazine. But if that's the case, and I know it's the case, but Blood said it's the case, hey man, my hats go off to you, and you guys deserve a great amount of credit for having a legend like that associated with your institution.
Absolutely, man. And we would like to see more of these throwback warriors come into Ring Magazine. Revive the old magazine, man. Bring it back to what it used to be. Let's stop being biased in the ratings and stop doing things around Golden Boy. Just keep it honest, man. Keep guys like Larry Holmes, keep their voice relevant, man, because these guys have been faded out to the back. The only person on this planet who could really relate to Deontay Wilder is Larry Holmes, because Larry Holmes at one time was an undefeated fighter, okay, who had the WBC green belt. A lot of y'all seem to forget that. He's really the only one. If I could hear from him about a lot of today's boxing, and I heard a lot. Well, I read a lot in the Ring Magazine. So Dougie Fisher would like to salute you for bringing Larry Holmes in, man. Keep up the good work. If you guys are going to work like that, maybe I'll get a subscription again. It's been like 15 years.
Hey, for now, what you say the name of that boxer was? You said you was going to support
Marlon So Icy Sims.
Okay, you said he in the chat?
No, he's a member. I taught you outside. He's always in the chats. He might not be here today, but he's a member of the LDBC. He's constantly in the chats. You guys will see him around all the time.
Underground Asylum, thanks a lot for the super chat. Underground Asylum says, salute to all supporters and the OG channel. We appreciate that. We also got Love Stalking's Punch Out. He says, welcome to Fanon's favorite. He's joined the membership. And don't forget, Fanon said at the beginning, when you guys are joining this membership, put a question there. We'll add it to the panel. We might have enough time to do that today. I'm not sure because we got a whole lot of shit to talk about. In fact, we're fixing to get into the next subject. Unfortunately, Kurt Anderson, he fell off, and we're hoping that he comes back soon. He's having a little bit of problems. I think he must be visiting Florida. He must be visiting North to Central Florida or something, because I've never known Kurt Anderson to have no problems up in New Jersey. Y'all ain't supposed to have these problems. But anyway, man, we'll be waiting for the OG historian to come back. We're going to get into Dillian White. Now, as we all know, habitual offender Dillian White has returned to fighting after being caught with a banned substance in his system. I believe the excuse being used is UCAT's final decision was some kind of contamination or something like that. It's ridiculous, but he fought last night, man. What y'all think about this, man? Let's start out with Mr. Boxing Today 2. Mr. Boxing Today 2, you're here, right? I want to hear your take on also, I want to hear your take on this whole UCAT shit that's going on.
Talking about the Dillian White fight from yesterday, his performance was trash. It was just complete trash, man. Especially for somebody that talks a lot of trash, and he deserves this and 600 days that, and then it's like, all right, well, we're gonna throw you on the card, and he wasn't ready to fight. That dude wasn't ready to fight. Came in at his by far career high. He just looked chubby all the way around. I was just disappointed in his appearance yesterday physically, because he talks a lot of shit, man. The dude will have you thinking that he's ready to fight tomorrow, as much shit as he talked, and he wasn't ready to fight tomorrow. Good thing he was in there with a soft touch like Marius Wack. Marius Wack came in extremely heavy as well, although he was down from his previous 2 fights against German. But Marius Wack prime weight was when he was fighting in 2011, 2012 against guys like Christian Hammer and Klitschko, when he was around about 245, 250, all right? So, and Wack was giving him some work in a couple rounds, and that fight went exactly like I predicted. Sloppy, lackadaisical, slow, just eyesore, you know what I mean? Because I knew that they'll be breathing and being sloppy and breathing all over each other and missing and hitting and chopping each other and buzzing. It was just sloppy, man. It was sloppy work from Dillian, but he got the win. And he needs to worry about looking great in his next fight. I always say that. Just get the win, worry about looking great in your next fight. But he's had a lot of these type of fights, man, where he don't look great after talking a lot of shit. The Chisora took him to the brink both times. We seen what happened with Oscar Rivas and Parker fights, where he's damn near getting knocked out at the end of the fights. Now, credit to him for getting up. But even when he came over here to make his American splash, remember that he fought Malcolm Tan in front of 13 people. There's just always an excuse for his performances. Helenius buzzed him. You know what I mean? But there's always an excuse for his performances as to why this and that didn't happen. And look, if anything happens between Wilder and Fury where it don't happen, I'm going to be the #1 fan for Wilder versus White. Let's get it on. No more talking, because this dude's going to get stretched out, man. He's going to get stretched, and we can end his talking. So I'm going to be lobbying for that. You know what I mean? For Wilder versus White. I damn near want it before Fury, to be honest with you, because I want this dude to get his shot to get stretched. As far as the UCAT, look, man, they were keeping it under wraps for a reason. I think there was some behind the scenes, under the table type of thing where there was some payola involved. I have no proof. This is just me giving my guess. But this is boxing, man. So I'm sure some money got exchanged to cover it up. They still haven't addressed the glove thing. And fans are saying, no, Mr. Boxing, they did address it. No, they just gave us the story as to why he wore gloves that were not expected by Team Rivas. But that doesn't mean that, he never got punished for it. That shit is downright criminal, man. I like watching Dillian White. But coming in the ring, I'm still not over that glove situation. I'll break down his fights. I'll talk about who I want him to fight. But that glove thing is just, man, that's just one of the dirtiest things you can do, man. You know what I mean? You had a pair of gloves. You gave it to an undercard fighter. That shit don't even make sense. They gave us that logic as if, like, we need to just take it, accept it, and move on. No, man, that shit is still criminal. And I'm more mad at Team Rivas because it's like they're like, okay, and they ain't really saying nothing about it. You know what I mean? So I'm still not even over that. You know what I mean? But no, UCAD, great. Clear them, because I want them in there.
Yes, sir, man. Dillian White did look like shit without his steroids. He going around here calling himself the body snatcher. Well, it looked like somebody done snatched his motherfucking body from him. Okay? This guy without the steroids ain't shit. Let's go on to KQKC. What you think about old punk-ass Dillian White? KQKC, you there? I'm singing OG.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what you think about that old punk-ass eraserhead crybaby punk Dillian White? What you think about that bitch right there?
Well, you know what? Okay, let me get to the fight first. He is not that fighter that can stop Deontay Wilder. We know that, okay? We know that for a fact. The way he's built, the way he throws his jabs, how he misses, he's not on point. He don't have no accuracy. He's just there kissing butt. He came over here, thought that someone was going to pick him up. Everybody said, no, look, we don't have time, or don't answer the phone. So he went back over there and kissed some butt for Eddie Hearn. We all know how Eddie Hearn treat everybody, right? Then he had a nerve. He had the nerve to say that Deontay Wilder was like a black hillbilly. A hillbilly. Then he had to act like a black hillbilly. Well, yes, some balls. Let's go get them, balls. Let's go get them, balls. But then again, he didn't say that when Barry Hearn said, well, time have changed. You would have been my slave, or something similar to that. I'm ad-libbing, but this is a quote and un-motherfucking quote. Now, he said that you'll be my slave. And Dillian White said, cheese. Yes. Okay, now, he's all happy, all up in arms about, oh, you can't clear me. But they only found just a little bit of D-ball. But how you think it got in there? Your mouth don't make D-ball. Your blood is not D-ball. I mean, let's be honest here. How you think it got in there? You thought you can put a little bit and you can be stronger a little bit, maybe. But come on, that's not the truth. But then we see what type of fighters they are once they're not on that. Because they was testing him pretty much. Oh, then again, who knows what happens in the Middle East? Because Barack Obama, the one I used to work for, President 44, he said specifically, travel at the Middle East at your own risk. And all Ruiz had to do is say, hey, I ain't going. Ain't no judge in the United States will win against that. But Dillian White, let me get back to his little crazy ass. Now, he is not that guy. He's not that boxer. He's not going to be that AJ. All right? Matter of fact, AJ ain't going to be AJ after another couple of fights. So he might as well get used to it. Yeah, you can be happy now, but he cannot be ranked to 2021. He cannot appear in the rankings. He cannot be a mandatory. Yeah, he can fight, and that's about it. So, but he is experiencing a downfall, as you can see how he's fighting. He's very awkward. He had a hard time with the guy yesterday. I think he was trying to get a knockout, but he was way off. He was missing, and sometimes he would score, but he didn't try to score. And I think he's a C level heavyweight. That's all he is, a C level heavyweight from the UK. So they can see what they want. Dylan White brother can say what he want. John, what's his name? Johnny Nelson, whatever. He can say what he want. Dylan White is not going to be the next star of the UK. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. He don't have the fundamentals to be that way. He don't have the strength to be that way. And he don't have the fighting style to be that way. So that's all I have.
Okay, man. Shout out to Earl McDowell Jr. in the super chat. He said, this show has become part of my Sundays. Hey, man, we appreciate that, man. It's like church up in this motherfucker. We had another super chat here, too. We have Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More. He says, and it covered how bloated and out of shape White looked. Hell yeah, he looked fucking out of shape. He was out of shape, man. And you know what? To all of you all out there talking about Deontay Wilder's a hillbilly and all of that shit. I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers talking about. Okay, I told y'all Jamaican spice cakes to go out and do some history lessons. Okay, that word we don't really use that word like that around here. But you know, hey, I understand that y'all are Jamaican rum cakes and you don't fucking understand because you got sugar in your fucking tank. All of y'all over there, Dillian White, all his supporters. Go ahead.
Hey, for now, before you go, let me just nah, Mr. Boxer, just let me just allow me to slap the troll real quick. I'm not even gonna mention the troll name. I'm not gonna come down from the heavens and make him famous. But the troll was saying he wasn't ready. Look, man, you can't bro. You can't talk shit like this and then say, all right, let's fight, and then you ain't ready. It don't work like that, man. You have to. What did Sugar Free say back in the day? If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You got to stay ready, man. Especially in boxing, you got to stay ready at all times. Train between camps. This is what Larry Holmes is talking about, y'all. Train between your camps, man. You always stay ready. You got to be a damn gladiator. You think gladiators wasn't ready? You got to stay ready at all times. Now I'll give his eraser head ass this. He will bring a left hook to the table. He will bring some good body work to the table, and he will not short you on his effort. Whether he's out of shape or not, Dillian White does have a fighting spirit. I'll give him that, man. But all this, he wasn't ready. I ain't trying to hear that, man, at all. None.
He also got a fighting spirit at the fish and chip shop where he's taking up all the steak and kidney pies and fish and chips and being a big bully, eating up everybody's food. Anyway, Trap House Boxing, what you think about old punk-ass Dillian White?
Well, from what I seen in the fight, you know, that was another one I couldn't really just watch, but I did see parts in, you know, where he was going tooth and nail with Marius Watt. From what I seen, he looked horrible. You know, Dillian White ain't shit, man. Dillian White ain't shit. And what I don't understand is this: if he got cleared from this B sample thing, if he beat this trial or this case, why he ain't able to talk about it still? Why they still got him quiet? You understand what I'm saying? He immediately come up with an excuse why he looked so horrible, why he looking like a little a sawed off, blowed up Almond Joy up in there. You know what I mean? He coming up with about he ain't been training and all this shit. Bitch, he been sitting up there talking about he was training the whole time when he was on suspension, right? Wasn't he supposed to be in the gym? Right or wrong?
Exactly. Now he wasn't training. He ain't dedicated. All he do is sit back and eat and talk shit. Can't fight worth a shit. He sucks. Fuck him.
Yeah. And then you got Eddie Hearn over there playing with people's lives over there, acting, he faking crying and shit when people die in the ring, you know, but he steady putting juice heads in there, putting people's lives in danger. And Eddie Hearn, I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn ain't gonna learn until he got to pay for somebody's life off in that goddamn ring for getting killed for the bullshit he doing. I'm telling you, he gonna have some blood on his hands if he don't keep it up. The dude ain't nothing but a greedy damn devil. He don't give a fuck about nobody. And that's just all to it. That's just all to it, man. And I'm gonna tell you, Dillian White, Wilder had done said last night on Fred's interview. He said that, "Don't worry, Dylan. You already you've been asking for what you say you kept asking for it. He said now I'm gonna give it to you. He said so be careful what you ask for, because don't worry, I'm gonna get you." He said this.
I'm gonna go Wilder too, because Dillian White's a fucking cheater, and so is Eddie Hearn.
We ain't worried about that. He already know what the lick read over here when it come down to Wilder. He already know it's thorough testing going on. But even if he was on juice, it wouldn't even matter though, bro.
Would have beat Dillian White last night. He's a fucking joker for heavyweight. Man can't fight worth the shit. He don't bring nothing to the table as far as I'm concerned.
Decorum.
He got some like Mr. Box said, he got hard and all that other shit. But I'm telling you, he pulled that Floyd Mayweather shit. But he was trying to. I seen him last night trying to do the little hop with the Philly shell, trying to come forward. Man, you gonna get your ass laid out, get splattered just like the oversized Armadillo with your little black Armadillo looking ass / gargoyle mutant ninja turtle looking ass out in that motherfucking ring.
You're right, Trap. I noticed that he was trying to do the shoulder roll and come with it right.
We real short on time, so let's get the one.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
It's with Blood. Go ahead, Blood. If you are still on, you Trap. I mean, I was about to cut you off. Blood cut you off.
No. Go ahead, Fernand. It's your turn.
I'll give mine on Dillian White.
What'd you say?
If you're taking, I'll give mine on Dillian White.
Oh yeah, man. Dillian White looked like crap. I didn't hear him say Deontay Wilder's name out of that fight, and I hope they make that shit next. He's a bum.
Okay, man. Dillian White, listen, man. UCAD and Matchroom are a disgrace to boxing, okay? They continue to allow fighters to cheat. They continue to grant exemptions, exceptions, whatever you want to call them, placing fighters' lives at risk for the love of money. Like the OJ say, the love of money, that's what it's all about. Dillian White doesn't deserve a Wilder payday, in my opinion. He's an embarrassment to the sport. Like I said, he calls himself the body snatcher, but it appears as though someone has snatched his body. Without the steroids, he looks like shit. He appeared slow and what a fucking joke. It's obvious that this guy lacks discipline. He has some nerve to call Luis Ortiz when he out there looking like a big blimp fighting like that. He's been enjoying a little bit too much shepherd's pie and bourgeois custard and jelly rolls. And how about that steak and kidney pie? He looked like a fucking weeble wobbler out there. What he provided was no entertainment whatsoever. What he provided was jiggling D cups to his dart chucking audience. His wife, Dean White, was by his sweetheart side. Now, them jiggling D cups, those are good for Dean White and him, where they could do a little bit of tent bumping together, old punk ass motherfucker. Lose some weight, bitch. Stop coming out here talking shit about Wilder, talking about you lay hands on Wilder. If I see you, boy, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out my damn self. You look like a hoe out there, bitch. All right? Go lose some weight. Stay disciplined. You talking like you a motherfucking warrior. You ain't no warrior. You don't want none of that drama, boy. Shut all that shit up. And all your fucking fans out there, they a bunch of pussy boys too. Sissies. That's what all of y'all, a bunch of motherfucking sissies. All right? Okay, yeah, bring him to the table. Bring him to the table. He gonna have the drug test, though. He gonna have the drug test to fight the Bronze Bomber. You hear me? He ain't gonna. We ain't coming in there with none of that steroids. He gotta come over here too. All right, get his ass out of there. Bring him on. But in my opinion, he don't deserve that motherfucking payday. He don't deserve the payday. All right, there's other people out there who ain't cheating. All right, stop all that crying after the fight too. We don't like you, nigga. All right, you are a obedient slave nigga, all right? Eddie Hearn in front of you, Barry Hearn said some shit about slavery. You sat there like the little slave-ass nigga you are, going around with your little gay games. Got Dean White, your little pussy boy Dean White. You and him playing little games together, little fuck boy games, all right? We don't play none of that shit over here, boy. You hear me? That's what I got to say about his punk ass. You can cry all you want. You look like shit, stir-fried shit out there. Shit, I thought Isaac Hayes was coming back from the dead to fight a boxing match last night. Looking like shit out there, boy. You hear me? That's all I got to say, man. Let's move on. Fernand, what you got next on the agenda here?
Man, yes, sir, Blood.
You want to talk Wilder? Why they didn't mention Wilder's name last night? Why Eddie Hearn punk ass came out of the woodwork talking about, oh, well, we ain't going to talk about him. We're not going to give him no time. There's nobody watching you on the zone, you stupid fuck. Okay? Yesterday, we were watching football, bitch. The only reason guys like us watched it is because we boxing fans. Well, nobody watching that, boy. You a lousy-ass promoter. Okay? You put that shit on during the time where college football, SEC championship, all that shit was on, okay? Ain't nobody watching you motherfuckers, all right? Y'all keep mentioning my boy name, Deontay Wilder, like you could do something for him. Like, man, fuck you. 3,000 people watched that shit last night, boy. All right? The people who watched it on illegal streams. The only reason why I watched it on the zone, because I was lucky enough to have somebody send me a code. But I'll tell you what, man, the zone is shit. You guys need to separate yourself from Eddie Hearn. He putting on events during SEC championships and bowl games and shit. Man, fuck out of here. When nobody watching you, fuck boy. All right? Y'all stop downplaying Deontay Wilder. All right?
All right, man, the agenda.
And you have the nerve to call him the baddest man, Anthony Joshua, the baddest man on the planet. Okay, let's get to this Joshua talk.
Yeah.
Joshua talk.
Hey, Blood.
What y'all think about this
Blood,
Joshua talk?
question real quick.
Go ahead.
What you think of Dillian White?
So I think he's a piece of shit. I think he sucks. I think he sucks Dean White's dick. That's what I think. He a hoe. I ain't never seen nothing that strange in my life. Who the fuck got a guy named after him? What they was doing, talking one day. Hey, mate, Danny, you should change your name to my last name. Well, Dillian, we're going to get married first. We're going to get hitched. And the pictures are out there on the internet of these motherfuckers getting hitched up. All right? That's cool to the motherfuckers on IFL TV when you butt slapping with Coogan and all that shit. We ain't with that fuck shit over here, boy. All right? You stop talking noise. You keep talking shit, you're going to come over here to the wrong state. Somebody going to lay you and Dean smack out. I heard Dean White had some shit happen on the plane or something like that, man. These guys are fucking lames, man. All right? They get no love over here. None. Bitch-ass niggas. That's what we feel about you over here. Shout out to IFBB up in the super chat. That's right. We have more people over here. We got people over here from the UK supporting us. We worldwide over here at OG Boxing Talk, nigga. What's up? Let's go with this Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua talk. Kurt, I know Kurt ain't back yet. You know what? Why don't you kick us off for now with that, man?
Okay, yeah, no problem. All right, man. So my take on this was first that AJ did what I thought he was going to do, man. He was going to move around, try to not get knocked out for 12 rounds, and he's going to win a unanimous decision. And I would like to point out that to all the trolls that keep trying to come by my channel asking me if I'm going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for getting the prediction right. I didn't think there was any way that Andy Ruiz is going to walk up out of there with that belt. That's what I thought. Andy Ruiz, now what actually happened in the fight, and that's how Anthony Joshua had to fight. He has to fight like that to win. And I don't think that's a good look for him going forward in his career because he's clearly chinny. He's chinny, so on a shorter guy, he can stay on the outside. He can jab, and then he can jab, grab, hold, jab, hold, and move. But eventually, just like with Klitschko, he's going to get that chin tested again, and he's going to go out. He's going to run up there with a guy that's the same height as him, number one. So like that, what he did with Andy Ruiz would never work with Tyson Fury. Because Tyson Fury is the taller guy and is going to be able to touch him from the outside. He's going to have to come in. Now, the fact that Tyson Fury can't punch his way out of a brown paper bag, that might be an issue. But nah, man, I think AJ just, he bought himself another couple days. They're going to wind up breaking up all the belts. Those belts about to get broken up. Alexander Usyk, for some reason, there's some fucked up shit about boxing where Alexander Usyk is in line for a championship, for a shot at a championship belt. And he has literally fought nothing in the heavyweight division. So they're going to take either going to take the WBO belt from him or the IBF belt. They didn't act like they wanted to fight Deontay Wilder. So they're just going to break the belts up. But as far as what this means for Anthony Joshua, when you're saying two-time, dog, he's two-time because he got knocked out. And when Eddie Hearn started talking about all that resume shit and how nobody's resume is close to AJ's, dude, ain't nobody else got a knockout loss to ain't none of these other guys got a knockout loss to Andy Ruiz on their record. You didn't make that shit, that shit didn't go away. I still got the highlight videos. I still see him getting knocked down by a little fat man 4 times and quitting. And that shit ain't gonna go away. It's what it is. And if he fights he's not going to fight Deontay Wilder. But if he did, he's going to sleep. He's going to sleep, and he's going to sleep in an ugly fashion because as soon as he gets hit, he's going to sleep. He got wobbled multiple times by Andy Ruiz, man. Now, Andy Ruiz should, hey, man, what do you expect, dude? The dude got a $7 million payday, got a big payday, made another $10 million in this payday. He ate his career away. But even if he had come in at 245 pounds, was in the best shape of his life, he probably still would have lost because AJ was going to stand on the outside, not fight, jab him anytime he came close. If Andy Ruiz somehow got past the jab, he was going to grab him, hold him, push away, hit him on the way out. He's going to do the jab, grab, hold, and run. That's how Klitschko. And if you ain't familiar with how BFTB broke down, by the way, shout out to BFTB. And any of y'all trolls, I got a bounty on your head over there at BFTB. So there ain't no real reason for you ever to come talk to me. I got money that you can earn. And you get me if you beat BFTB, which you won't. Anyway, that's what my thought on is that, look, man, all AJ did was, he got some belts back that he's about to drop. All this shit about him looking like Muhammad Ali, get the fuck out of here. Muhammad Ali, man, come on, man. This is
look like Leroy Green off of The Last Dragon. That's who the fuck he looked like.
Dog, he looked like who? Dog, he looks like AJ. He looked chinny. He's chinny. That's not the style of fight, dude. He changed up he adjusted for Andy Ruiz. But big deal. You made up for a cherry pick that knocked you out. That's what I think of it.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. We have some super chats coming. I'm screaming out real quick. Shout out to Joseph Townsend in the super chat. He says, "I can hear the ancestral rage in Blood's voice. I agree with every single word he said." That's right, bro. We're gonna still go in on that punk ass bitch, man. I'm gonna make my channel dedicate a hate channel to Dillian White. I don't like that motherfucker, and I'm gonna continue to go in on him. Let's see. We got Felix Nunez, man, our brother, in the super chat. He says, "I know AJ lost 10 pounds, but dude didn't get winded. While keeping a high work rate after having a history of tanking. So he didn't get winded because he was on steroids, bro. He was on juice, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do over there in Saudi Arabia when they dealing with Eddie Hearn, okay? I'm not giving him no love. I don't know about the rest of these niggas, but I'm not never giving AJ no love, no respect, no credit until he get his ass in there against Deontay Wilder and stop being a Leroy Green pussy boy. All right? All right, you got the glow. Nigga, you want him to have the fucking glow? You got to go fight showing up. And right now, Wilder's showing up, nigga. You got to go in there and get that motherfucking glow. All right? Like Vanity said, you got to go for it, fuck boy. All right, now let's go on. Okay, we got boxing conversation with Reggie Owens up in here. He said, "Can you turn Blood's piece on Dillian White into a video?" Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll put it on my page. It ain't no big deal. We could do that. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. We're going to continue to talk about AJ and this burrito back motherfucker he fought last night. Looked like a big beef burrito. Not just a regular burrito. He looked like one of them big beef burritos. Big burrito back ass motherfucker. You know what, Mr. Boxing Today 2? What you thought about AJ, man? And Andy Ruiz last night?
Hey, man, I'm still over here cracking up with your Dillian White rant, man. I feel like Jerry Stackhouse going second after Vince Carter in the dunk contest that year. I think it was Stackhouse. I damn near forgot who it was, but they went second after Vince.
I can't bring the knowledge like you, bro. I can't bring the knowledge like you, though.
You know what I mean? But look, man. AJ, okay, look. He went in there. I thought he won the fight 10-2, maybe 9-3, maybe I think it was round 4. 10 and 11, I could have possibly gave to Andy, but maybe 2 or 3 rounds.
he fought a fight that I didn't think he would be able to maintain over 12 rounds. Yes, I know Joshua can do it in spurts against Povetkin, even in the amateur. I've seen him fight like that in spurts, okay? So I'll give him credit for that. But I'm not about to go over the top against a guy who you got beat by in the first fight. You were a huge favorite, and you were a favorite in the second fight. So people are expecting him to get all this praise and credit for beating a guy who he's already a hitting line favorite against. I will give him credit for conquering his fears because his body language is just so tough to read. The dude just seems so unconfident in himself, especially when the topic of Wilder's brought up. But he's always talking about losing, and he just has one of the weirdest mindsets that I've heard from a fighter in recent memory. But he fought a beautiful fight, man. Yes, there was a lot of moving around, using his jab. This Ali comparison is so outlandish. This just outlandish rhetoric, man. Ali would move, but he was stick and move, throwing combinations, not quick 1-2s, because it seemed like Anthony was content with the stay off me punches, like jab, jab, stay off me right hands, meaning that he throw one and then move. He was very disciplined. That's the key word. The dude he carried out a disciplined game plan because he didn't want to engage. A few times he let 2-3 go, then it's like he kind of a light went off in his head, like, oh shit, I don't want to be here, so let me move again. You know what I mean? He tied up when he had to. I didn't think he could implement it, so he proved me wrong on that front. Now, will this style work against everybody he fights? Of course not. Could you imagine him trying to get away from a guy like Wilder with long arms, or do you really think he's going to be able to outbox Tyson Fury? No. You know what I mean? Or I don't think he can. But that style was able to work yesterday. Andrew Ruiz didn't do himself any favors by not throwing. It looked like he was waiting for Joshua to just sit still so he can throw his punches. Now look, I'm not making no excuses for Andy, because the day before that, or 2 days before that, at the post-fight workout, or I'm at the workouts, he looked good on the mitts. Looked fast, looked strong, didn't even break a sweat. He did like a 15-minute mitt session, and didn't even was even breathing hard. So I'm making no excuses for him, man. The dude went in there. It looked like he was waiting for one punch, and he's not even a one-punch guy. He had a few opportunities in the clinch where he was let. Now he did, like Fanon said, he did buzz AJ a few times in the clinch. He let his hands go real fast. But then there were sometimes he was just happy with being clinched in. It looked like Andy towards the end looked like a guy that was like, you know what? I got the first fight. Ain't nothing I can do tonight. You know what I mean? It looked like he kind of just kind of bowed out. Then at the end, he gonna do the whole beat my chest, stand here and fight me shit. It's like, nah, bro. No excuses. AJ did what he had to do, but don't get it twisted like he can use this style against every single body, because there's other pressure fighters out there that have different dimensions than AJ. They may not be as fast as AJ or technically skilled, but I want to see not only what does AJ look like against Wilder and those guys, but how would this style fare against a guy like a Konowski or Miller, who can literally eat punches, but their dimensions are different than Ruiz's, where they have longer arms. Ruiz has some of the shortest arms in the division, or at the top of the division, the top 15 guys. You know what I mean? So he did what he had to do, but I'm not about to do no Ali comparisons or Larry Holmes. He fought a disciplined fight, but he wasn't throwing 4, 5s, and 6s like Ali and Holmes. Cut the shit. And for you trolls that's trying to come and leave comments under my comments on other people's pages, trying to give me the pat on the head like, oh, you're keeping it real. Man, keep it moving, man. You know what I mean? All it is a fight prediction. Don't try to sub back to me saying that I'm keeping it real now. Get the fuck away, man, because as soon as I criticize AJ again, you're going to unsub again. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that.
That's right, man. AJ, I mean, the guy looked like trash to me, man. I'm sorry, but, you know, he fought a guy who was not in shape, a guy who's been going out there spending a whole lot of money. I mean, Andy Ruiz was eating tacos and all that shit the day before the fight. Eating them some Arabian tacos, Arabian barbecue, all that kind of shit. The nigga hit up every buffet over there, Saudi Arabia, before the fight. All right, so come on, man. You fighting some guy who wasn't even ready to fight you, man. You can't fight nobody else with that style, okay? This is not the Klitschko era when you had all those slow, flat-footed, short fighters that Klitschko used to grab and hold. This is a different era. The heavyweights are big. He ain't going to be able to do shit with Tyson Fury. He ain't going to be able to do shit with Deontay Wilder. He ain't going to be able to do shit with Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is the best thing that's ever come out of England, ever, other than Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis is Canadian, nigga, all right? So he don't claim y'all anyway. He over here hanging out with us, all right, because we the cool crowd. Y'all a bunch of bitches and hoes over there. All of y'all. Anybody who don't want this fight is a hoe and not a real boxing fan, okay? Y'all over here listening to some stupid ass promoter. AJ still can't talk for himself. You know what? Ali was a man of the people. Well, if Ali was out there in Saudi Arabia, he would have been all out there in the politics, all kind of shit. That kind of shit is gone, nigga. AJ ain't on that level. Don't never compare him to Ali, in or out the ring. Can you imagine Ali going over to Saudi Arabia and what that would have been? Can you imagine what Ali would have got in there with the people? He would have got all up in there. He'd still be there partying with them, but not like AJ, not having little behind the scenes butt board parties like what AJ and Dillian White are participating right now. Cocaine snorting parties and butt board parties and grab ass parties. No, Ali about that business, all right? Y'all know, every fucking OG on this panel know that if Ali went over to Saudi Arabia, he would have opened up that market in fashion, nigga, right? Okay, so now let's go to Trap House Boxing. What you think about, Leroy Green, Anthony Joshua, who need a haircut? What you think about him?
Who you talking about? Director your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza.
Exactly.
You know, that's that Leroy Green. That's the pizza joint song. That was their little slogan they used to say. Man, look.
When he hear Wilder call him, it's like Leroy. That's how he
Yeah. When Show Enough came in there and tore that goddamn restaurant up. And they couldn't find Leroy whole ass. Where Junior at? Junior! I'm looking for Junior.
You gotta get that motherfucking blow. I guess he don't want the motherfucking blow.
Hey, man, I'm talking about that was the most disrespectful shit I ever seen. Man, that's somebody calling the mama be everything. But anyway, fuck, I'm finna get on this. Because I don't know who I want to get on first. AJ or this big bad bean burrito, out of body chalupa smelling mole spread across the rings looking at Ruiz. Who I need to get on first? I'm gonna start with Ruiz. Now, first of all,
Rito boy. Start with him.
I fuck with Ruiz. That's my guy, but I'm from the clown this bitch ass today. Now, Ruiz, your big ass is all the way out of line for sitting up here on national TV after you done sat here talk about all this and that. And then the first thing you want to do is come out with a damn excuse talking about, I trained too. I didn't train hard enough. I should listen to my father. I partied. I had drunk too much cerveza. Just too much. I had too much chocha. And, it was time for me to get in the ring and let my hands go. I couldn't let my hands go. Man, look here, man, look. Bruh, you ain't got no excuse, man. Look, everybody from Mexico needs to goddamn kick that. They need this, man, they need to exile Andrew Ruiz for that performance he did last night. That was horrible. So you mean to tell me all of a sudden AJ this boxer now that can move around for 12 rounds. Well, I'm gonna say he moved around for 12 rounds, but this son bitch got hurt in the clinch. What 4 rounds he was getting hurt in the clinch, right? Now he dead ass tired. And all of a sudden, AJ gets the fountain of youth in him and he's able to box again. All of a fucking sudden. Now what I wanna know, I wanna know what was in that whole water bottle last night. What they gave this bitch a Alibaba concoction last night? What was in this water bottle?
They hooked him up, man. They hooked his little ass up with something.
They was getting hit and wobbled. He looked like he was down there on his last leg.
You saw when they got him and Ruiz clipped him that one time? He looked so scared, man. Like, get this Rottweiler off of me. Get him off of me. Get him off. He went back to running again and shit. And as slow as Ruiz was, he couldn't even do no damage anyway. He just had a big burrito punching bag following him around the ring. He could barely make it through that. Every time they got in the clinch, AJ was in trouble. Every time he was in the clinch, he was in trouble.
Exactly. All he did was follow him around the whole time, looking like the Hippo Man off Mike Tyson Punch Out. Every time you punch that bitch, he pulled his pants down. That's what he looked like last night. And I'm gonna tell you something about AJ, man. AJ already just kill the Wilder talk, because it ain't happening. The dude is already talking about, I know the PBC. They're happy that they was hoping I would do the belts, and You know, I messed their plans up and all that, bro. That's the cue right there, letting us know that you ain't trying to do you ain't trying to be undisputed, you ain't trying to unify nothing or anything. Why are you bringing up the PBC? Why are you bringing up the PBC, bro? If you trying to become undisputed, you understand, man? But, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. AJ gonna sit there. Everybody think he gonna fight Usyk. He's not gonna fight Usyk. This dude, they gave him 6 months to fight Usyk. What he gonna end up doing is that dude gonna drop that belt. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I look, Usyk ain't the best fighter. I don't want people to think that. Look, a lot of people think that that Usyk is just like, you know, the top guy on my list. No. To me, stylistically, I don't think AJ can beat no damn Usyk. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I still question AJ talent, period. Because AJ did what the fuck Ruiz let him do last night. That's all he did. He ain't do shit. He let Ruiz let him do all that bullshit. He let him do all that bullshit last night, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, this whole storyline of him boxing beautiful and all that, man, y'all quit feeding into that shit. Cause he gonna, every time y'all show AJ love and tell him he did something good, y'all see how he moved. He gonna end up doing some more whole shit after this. He gonna end up probably fighting a Pulev or somebody like that. I'm trying to tell you. He gonna vacate that motherfucking belt. They gonna spread the belts all around. Eddie Hearn want Usyk to be the other title holder. He want AJ to be the other title holder. That way he can somewhat kind of gain control, you know, in a better way. Because he don't want to keep all his belts in AJ hand because he don't believe in AJ all the way still. Let's be honest.
Don't believe in him no more. His master don't believe in him no more. That's why he giving him a white boy Usyk. Usyk gonna be guard dog.
Exactly. So he got AJ on this end, Usyk on this end. He gonna try to corner the market and hope that Wilder slip and fall somewhere. He just trying to gain control of the belts. That's all he doing. He trying to divide the belts up with his stable. That's it, bro. And AJ think he trying to vacate the belts and strategically move around the heavyweight division because he ain't trying to be undisputed champion. He gonna end up losing again anyway. Yeah, that's it. But I want to know what was in that whole water bottle. And I don't like the whole storyline, the build up to the fight. He asking Andy what he got to do to beat him, and Andy showing out doing all this eating and partying and all this. Man, look, the writing was, to me, I don't want to say get too crazy, but to me the writing was kind of somewhat on the wall, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, you know, Andy Ruiz, I heard he had a 25-girl orgy last night in Saudi Arabia too. You know, while Dillian White and AJ was meeting up with some of Arabia's most known transsexuals around the area, Ruiz was doing his thing last night. But anyway, let's sum this shit up. Back to Fernando Don, man. We're gonna sum this up, this whole heavyweight talk. Tell me how you
KQKC got a shot on that.
Go ahead.
KQKC, did you speak on Anthony Joshua?
No, sir.
Go ahead, KQ, the singing OG. Damn,
and by the way,
super chain.
Before you do that, though, please note, KQK's people out there, that I pointed it to KQKC, and I ain't just picking on him. But y'all don't see KQ out there fucking with me. He don't fuck with me straight. He'll do some shit like this in the camera when I'm talking and make me look over there and fuck up my whole train of thought. That's what he be trying to do. Y'all just don't see that. Go ahead, KQ.
Okay. Yeah, last night, I don't know what I was watching, but I was hoping that Andy Ruiz will be bringing the belts back home to the United States, and that didn't happen. All right. Now, I know Andy Ruiz said he didn't want to go over there. Let's just start from there. But all of a sudden, he changed his mind within 24 hours. Why? We don't know, right? Wink, wink. All right. Now, once we got over there, Anthony Joshua, now I have to give it to him. He did change up his style of fighting, but he's not a boxer. You know, he was just pretty much staying out of Andy Ruiz's right hand. He would try to tie him up, hit and tie up, hit and tie up. And first of all, we all know boxing. You do not stiff arm in boxing. When you throw a jab, you have to have it moving. You can't stay and have it hanging out like that. They should have called that on him. They should have called him holding too much on him, but they didn't do that. Ruiz, he knows how to get under that jab. He knows how to do that. He has done that shit before. I have seen him do that before. Now, he was not trying. He didn't act like it was a matter of urgency in the 10th round. Because you lost all around. Maybe one you might have won, but that was it. Anthony Joshua did what we call a ring generalship, lateral movement, the whole 12 rounds. He didn't want to engage. You know, he might throw a jab out there, a lazy jab at that. Now, the way he fought Saturday night, of course, we know he's not going to ever fight with Anthony Joshua. We know that. I mean, with Deontay Wilder. We know he's not going to do that. We know he's going to take those belts. See, if you was a heavyweight champion, and if I was a heavyweight champion, and if I had all the belts, I would not say, oh, well, okay, I don't need that belt. You know, it should be one face, one champion in the heavyweight division. Now, if you are a champion, like you say you are, then you go after that belt. That's what champions do. Yeah, you might get knocked the fuck out, but still, you went after that belt. You did what champions supposed to do. Champions aren't supposed to hide and say, well, if it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. No. What happened to the legacy? You think Foreman would have said that? You think Hagler would have said that? No. Muhammad Ali wouldn't have said that. You know? Like Muhammad Ali say, okay, fine. Can he fight? Can he box? Okay, let's get it on. Sometimes you got to push yourself. Sometimes you got to see where you at. Anthony Joshua is not that type of fighter. He's not going to leave it all in the ring. He's not going to say, oh, man, I'm losing, and look, I'm going for it. No, he's going to be cautious. He want to be at home. He want everybody to fall over his feet. He want the money to fall down. He want the fire to spread, but he did not fight a good fight. Yes, he fought on the back foot most of the fight. He ran around the goddamn ring. I got dizzy. So, and Andy Ruiz. Now, I'm not an Andy Ruiz fan, but, you know, look, if it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. And look, money talks and that bullshit takes a walk. And trust me, somebody got paid. Now, I'm not mentioning no names or anything like that, what I think, you know, because it ain't what I think, is what I know, you know. So we talking about one of the richest countries in the Middle East. Now, after that, you know, it wasn't an exciting fight at all. I mean, sure, Eddie Hearn, he didn't wear no tie that night. So he hugged AJ Daddy, you know, because he didn't want that to get choked no more. But I understand how the fight was going to go. I knew that. Most of my subscribers said that, hey, look, AJ ain't going to win those belts. Now, this is the key. He don't give a shit about those belts. He got his little 40 million, and Anthony Ruiz got, what, 12 million? You know, I don't even think that accurate. But he going to take those belts, and they're going to split it. Like Fernand said, you know, how the hell Usyk just moved up to heavyweight, and that ain't even filled in to heavyweight. Terrence Crawford haven't filled in to welterweight. And you're going to get a championship shot? That's why I said the promoters are the problem. Promoters are the problem. Because if I was every fighter just about, I would go ahead and promote myself. Because cut out the middleman. Do like dope dealers do. I don't need you to go get the shit for me and pay you and him. I get rid of you and give me him. And I go straight to him. That's how you have to do in boxing. Cut out the middleman. The middleman is the promoter. You deal with the higher up. Forget the promoter. You know, you can do it yourself. You can call, hey, MGM Grand. You got this date open. Okay, fine. Let's do it. How much? You know, come on. It ain't that hard. But AJ is not that fighter that the UK thinks. Now, the UK gonna come out of everywhere, out of the woodwork now. Oh, AJ gave him a boxing lesson. No, he did not. He gave him what you call a flojo lesson. That's what he gave him. He learned how to run, hit and hold. That's the old trick in the book. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that if you're a veteran, if you got over 20 fights, you know how to do that. You know, hit and hold. No points taken. No warnings mentioned. Just hit and hold. That's it. So, but that was a fight that I really did expect. And Ruiz, matter of fact, he stopped at a couple points and put his hands down, you know, because all that goddamn weight. See, when you've never been a champion before and you sit there and now you win, not one belt, not two, but 3 or 4, then, you know, sometimes it might go to your head. You might want to stay out a little later. You might want to party a little more, you know, and sometimes, you know, you might not train as hard because you think you the best thing since sliced bread, but you're not. That's why in the rematch, you wasn't ready. Your ass was tired chasing Anthony Joshua around. Anthony Joshua took it serious. Why? Because he's in love with those belts. He in love with the prestige. He in love with people being in love with him. So, but he is not my champion, you know. Anytime a fighter of that caliber ride around with transvestite orangutans and shit like that, I don't fuck with him. You know, I'm not in that category, you know. So what you do, that's your business. But he would never be a he would never be a champion. That's all I got.
No, he'll never be that nigga, man. James Days in the super chat. Wilder wants one champion, one face, one name. What does AJ want? Yeah, AJ wants Eddie Hearn's dick in his mouth and booty. That's what he wants. So just to let you know, that's how they get down over there at that room. You know, they out right now partying with Saudi Arabia transsexuals and all kind of shit. You know, that's how they get down. Eddie Hearn, all of them, circle jerking, fag activity. It continues. Don't argue with the dark church.
Demonetized.
It's irrelevant now. Right? Go ahead, Sinan.
Hey, man, look, we had a great first. Before we do anything else, man, y'all go subscribe to Mr. Boxing Today too and watch this man's videos. This cat, we sit there and talk about what we thought about the opinion of these heavyweights, man. Mr. Boxing Today been talking about all these dudes, all the guys that are coming up for years on YouTube, man. This cat definitely deserves your sub. I hope he will continue to come to OG Boxing Talk because the dude is excellent. We even let his young ass up in here. This dude is so solid that we let his young ass up in here. But I gotta reprimand him, man. This dude is still out there dunking on his son. Right? What kind of daddy is going to dunk in the face of their son? Mr. Boxing Today, you have no. How could you do that to your own child?
Kids get it too. When we on that court, everybody get it. Everybody get it. But hey, let me just add this real quick to AJ, man. My biggest fear is we're going to go back to pre-June 1st. There's going to be a whole bunch of because AJ went out there and had his brother Shaquille sunflower moment. You remember that episode on Martin where Martin left Gina and Cole taped good times over his message? So he went to some sanctuary, grew his hair out. Next time we see AJ, he's gonna have a lining. He's gonna get a brush fade. AJ gonna go back to what he was pre-June 1st, and I think he's gonna be a prima donna again. Hopefully I'm wrong, man, but it's gonna be a whole bunch of who I ain't gotta fight. I ain't worried about him. And that's the saddest takeaway from this is I think it's gonna go back to how it was.
Yes, sir. Let me get some of through these. There was a lot of super chats. I think we skipped.
Next one, real quick, man. We got 700 some people, man. Y'all jab that like button on the way out so we close the show, man. Come on, man. Don't do us like that. Y'all was
yes, sir.
Crying down, man.
Hit that like button, man.
Mr. Mike, I'm sorry.
Hold on, man. Let me read these. Go ahead, KQ, because I always cut you off after you cut me off. Go ahead, finish up. What
No,
would you say?
I just was trying to find out what was his name for his page. Is it Mr. Boxing Today too?
Yeah, just like it's right there. Mr.
Oh.
Boxing Today 2.
Okay.
All right,
I got
man. Hey,
both
78
channels. I
Sports
got
TV. 78 Sports TV said, I'm going live after y'all. This is a paid advertisement. Make sure, because hey, get ready, dog, because we about to wrap it, man. We at 10 and we want to respect other cats in the LDBC that we know want to talk this good stuff about this fight. But I don't want to rob anybody of what they did in their super chat. Supports it, man. He said, Underground Assignment says, salute to all the supporters in the OG panel. Somebody was talking shit and got their super chat thrown out, which will happen, dog. The money ain't worth it. Okay. Michael Johnson Boxing Talk More said, any cover how bloated and out of shape White look. We did that. D-Ball Dillian, the delusional ducker is a UK hype job, said Camille Oz. Black House Ironworks, crank it up, OG. Blood, you know what OG gonna crank. You know Blood gonna crank it up. Laws to punch. I said, go on, Blood. OG, yes, sir. Black House Ironworks said OG and is on this jigaboo head. I ain't heard jigaboo since I was a child. Joseph Townsend says, I can hear the ancestral rage in Blood's voice. I agree with every single word. I think we did get to that before.
Somebody got a bottle?
That was Mr. Boxing Today. Mr. Rule said Andy was enjoying too much of that Arab food. Oh no, he was doing that shit in Mexico and California and New York. Every stop he was on. Kamal said AJ fought like Vlad and a Kenyan marathon runner. Hey man, he did what he had to do though, man. He had to get them belts back, but you know he going back to prima donna. No, he ain't gonna stop being no prima donna. Kenneth Johnson said, great show as always. Time to Annie Up said, oh, by the way, you got to get a wrench. Time to Annie Up. How the hell you don't have a wrench? Put in the comments, say you've had a wrench before, man, and that shit went away. Salute to the OG panel, the LDBC chat. Ruiz, in my opinion, just a single-handed, but the battery put the battery in back and Henry and Hearns back again. Michael James Boxing Talking More. AJ played Fela Kuti, a guy who fought for human rights but keeps his mouth shut about it. Hey, man, but Michael Johnson had somebody who was really talking about it. But if he played that and that's what it is, that's what it is. Harry Nation Podcast said, did you hear Blood singing? And Clifton Prince got another super chat, man. Also, let me hit refresh because I know my man 78 hit it at the end. Man, y'all go immediately to. Oh, Wookie Wook said, salute OGs, put some hot sauce on my crow. Hey, man. That's all right, man. Hey, dude, it is what it is, man. It's easy to get shit wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. 78 said, I'm going live after y'all. This is a paid advertising. Immediately go to 78 Sports TV. Look, man, Trap House, let them know how to get in contact with you.
All right, you can follow me on YouTube, Trap House Boxing, Twitter, Trap House Boxing, and Instagram, Trap House Boxing.
That's what's up.
That's where you can find me.
Yes, sir. Mr. Boxing Today, too. Let them know how the best way to get in contact with you.
Oh, y'all know the business, man. Mr. Boxing Today here on YouTube, always giving you some news you can use concerning the heavyweight division from the champions to the prospects.
And subscribe. If you in there, you can click. If he left a comment, find a comment that he clicked on. Click on that, hit subscribe. This dude is excellent, man. He's a cheat sheet. That's the heavyweight cheat sheet. KQKC Boxing. Let them know how to get you.
Oh, yes, sir. You can catch me right here on YouTube, Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m. Central Time. I come on right after Fanal International Boxing, and that's it. And all my descriptions will be in my description box where you can reach me at. So salute to everybody.
Yes, sir. Great show, KQKC. You know you, my dude. The boxing spreadsheet, better known as Blood Boxing, the king of this YouTube boxing talk. Let them know how to get you. And any last words you got?
Hey man, yes, y'all can get me over here at the boxing spreadsheet. Well, my page is called the boxing spreadsheet, but the page y'all really want to subscribe to is Retro Boxing and Documentaries. I have 2 pages, okay? I got some more documentaries coming. I just wanted to say one last thing, closing, that things will never be the way they was. Do not argue with the dark chuckers. Don't give them any power. Continue to ignore them. Let them live in their world because Anthony Joshua already got knocked the fuck out. They got dick in the booty ways over there. And it's just best to continue to support Deontay Wilder and whatever he does. Stand behind his platform. That's it. That's all I got to say.
All right, you can get me. You can follow me on Twitter. I will block your ass on Twitter though, just to know. If you come around harassing people when they're trying to leave comments and have conversations, you do that shit 2 or 3 times, starting arguments, you will not be able to comment, dog. I don't like trolls. Y'all get on my fucking nerves. You make it. I don't mind going back and forth with you, but you ruin the rep. You ruin the experience for other people that just want to talk boxing. Anyway, it is what it is. Thank you for everybody that joined in the membership. Go over to 78 Sports TV coming up right now. And with that, we out. We'll check you out next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.